They're back! Oh yeah, Bill and Ted are finally back on the big screen with their last and final chapter of the Bill and Ted saga. I think we don't need a Bill and Ted 4 for this. This is their final chapter of the whole entire saga. For sure. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka BoobBob927. This is my review for today. And today's review, ladies and dudes, yes, I have finally seen this movie at long last. The one that I haven't seen in the movie theaters. And boy, it's been a roller coaster ride. After all, we've been waiting for a third Bill and Ted movie for such a long time. And it's finally here. Yep. The final chapter of the Bill and Ted saga. I think we don't need a Bill and Ted 4 for this, so this is it. This is the final chapter of our two beloved dudes who loves to rock and roll and head back in time. So let's get this going. For my next movie review is Bill and Ted 3, Face the Music. The final chapter of the Bill and Ted saga. So let's get this whole thing started, shall we? So, the movie starts off with our dear beloved Bill and Ted. They gotta travel back in time one last time so they can find this mysterious song they got to play for the 46 something like that, so they could save the whole reality thing. But they can't do this alone without their beloved daughters. Their daughters are trying to put together a band that came from all the main history musicians that came from in the past. And that's all I could say about the main plot of the story. And I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? Well, to tell you the truth of this, ladies and dudes, this is a very darn enjoyable movie to watch. I will say that Honest Thief and Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music are the two main saving grace films that did came out in the year of 2020. And I love both of those films to death. For sure. So yeah, for Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music, it had a pretty good storyline for the most part. The characters were pretty darn likable. It has good cinematography. It has good characters that involves history people. And the score is pretty darn nice. And, let's see, what else? It's good. It's a good thing we got Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter back as our dear beloved Bill and Ted. And their daughters are pretty darn likable too in this film as well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in this film. For sure. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to the strongest points and the weakest points of Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music. I will say for the strongest points for this movie is truly Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves came back and reprised their roles as Bill and Ted. I just love those two actors to death, and I really love them playing with our dear beloved characters. It seems they never left their characters at all. It feels like they're still Bill and Ted even to this day. After all, these two guys are stuck together as glue. They will never be separated. They don't want to fall apart. They're like brothers. They knew each other so darn well. And they still have their character development and chemistry even to this day. I mean, it's just a breath of fresh air and also tears of joy. And Alex Winter is still very, very good as our dear beloved Bill. He had still nailed his role even to this day. I mean, it's great to see him again after so many years had passed since he quit acting. It'll be nice to see him again. You know, maybe one day he could do another film, and I'm sure he'll have another great performance for another character in another movie if he ever wants to do another movie in the future. And yes, ladies and dudes, I already know that Keanu Reeves is heading back to the Matrix saga. You know, coming back and reprising his role as Neo. But there's something that confused me about the Matrix 4. We already know in the Matrix 3 that Neo died. He sacrificed his life to stop that, wherever that evil dude is who dressed in black, and he was just gonna kill off the main character for whatever reason it'll be. Well, I want to know, how the heck did Neo came back to life? It doesn't make any sense. For sure. And if the Matrix 4 can tell us the reason why Neo is alive, I'm sure we'll figure this out. It just confused me. For sure. And yes, Keanu Reeves also is going to come back and reprise his role as John Wick, since there's going to be a John Wick 4. Man, I guess he wants to continue on with the John Wick saga, since it is his strongest role so far, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I will say for the strongest points for this movie is Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter coming back and reprising their famous role as our dear beloved Bill and Ted. And we love them from the bottom of our hearts, for sure. And now let's go on to the most weakest point of the movie. I just found a few weak points to be found. Like, about Deacon and the Missy character. I think they were the most pointless characters in the whole entire movie. And I think that Missy was kind of freaking stupid, you know. Falling in love with so many dudes here and there that Bill and Ted knew. I remember in the first movie, she's in love with Bill's dad. In the second movie, she's in love with Ted's dad, and now she's in love with Ted's brother. What is wrong with that woman? She's so freaking stupid. Why is she in love with a couple of dudes that she knew from you know, Bill and Ted's loved ones? That's just, I think she's high on drugs or something. Yeah, Missy's just a pointless character, and along with Deacon. Deacon is also a very pointless character. Maybe those two characters need to be cut off from the film. For sure. I just don't like him in this movie. Not one bit. I'd rather see Station again, since Station is all two good, lovable Martian characters that we all love from the second movie. I'd rather see those two little guys back. For sure. And I don't know what happened to Bill's dad. They never mentioned Bill's dad. They only know a little bit about him. I wonder if that guy passed away or something. I think they never explained about what happened to Bill's dad. That's a sad shame. And the final main weak point of the movie is about the actor named Jimmy. Well, the actor who played Jimi Hendrix. He sounds too much like the Prince and not Jimi Hendrix. Well, to tell you the truth is, I never studied Jimi Hendrix's voice in, you know, if I ever watch a video or something, or a music video. Yeah, I think they picked the wrong actor at the wrong time to play everybody's favorite guitar player. I think they should have picked somebody else. I think he really does sound like the Prince because I studied his voice very carefully for the character himself. So yeah, I never studied Jimi Hendrix's voice, his real life voice that came from the 60s. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it about all the weak points that I found with this movie. Is there's 2 characters who are pointless. I wish there was a few characters back, and one actor, I think they should have picked a better actor somewhere who could play Jimi Hendrix who doesn't sound like the Prince. You know, Prince, the famous singer and dancer, and he also played guitar as well. You know what I'm talking about. And now let's go on to the characters. I will go with the 2 characters that stand out to me in this film. I will go with Ted's daughter, played by this actress I really don't know of. I think she's a new actress to me in this film. I really love Ted's daughter. I think she's truly the best daughter out of the 2 daughters that Bill and Ted had for the last 24 years ago. She has a great personality and attitude, and I think that actress who played Ted's daughter, I think she really did study Keanu Reeves' character very well, and she's trying really, really hard to have that same personality and attitude for what Keanu Reeves has from the last 2 Bill and Ted films. I mean, she's a very fun and lovable character, and she has really good spunk, for sure. I will say for the actress who played Bill's daughter, I think she did a good job as well. But I think she doesn't have the personality and attitude of, Alex Winter's, if she ever studied Alex Winter's character from the last 2 Bill and Ted films. Well, she did a good job for it, but it's the personality and attitude I'm trying to look for into the character, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Bill and Ted's daughter was one of the best daughters I have ever seen from this film. And the second character I want to talk about is that actor who played our dear beloved Louis Armstrong. Whoever chose that guy who could play this beloved singer who could play the trumpet and use a handkerchief in his hand, I think they did a really good job of finding the rightful actor at the rightful time. I love Louis Armstrong. He is such a cool looking singer with the cool looking trumpet, and he always had a handkerchief in his hand. I mean, this guy is so darn awesome. And that guy knows how to play a trumpet so darn well. I love it! Yeah. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yeah, that guy is truly wonderful in real life. Oh yeah, Louis Armstrong. With his really cool looking voice, and he has that nice looking smile. I love his frickin' suit, and he is such a character. I just love him to death. If that actor ever played Louis Armstrong again, maybe for a film, I will go out there and see that movie. I want to see a Louis Armstrong movie that's all about him, since I adore that man so darn much, for sure. So anyway, Louis Armstrong is another character I care about in this film. And now let's head on to my final thoughts of the film. Overall, Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music is one of the best saving grace films that came from in the year of 2020. It had a really good storyline for the most part. The characters were likable except for 2. I freaking love the main climax of the movie. It had a really good score. It has good history, people. You know, that's based by real life people. And I do like the casting, and it's great to see Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter coming back and reprising their roles as the most famous duos of all time. And so for my rating for this film, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I will say the second movie is in third place. This movie deserves to be in second place. And the first one will always be the first. Always. And that's my whole entire movie review of Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music. I hope you enjoyed this movie review. And join me next time for more movie reviews to come in the main future, whenever it's going to be. And that is it for now. I'll see you guys later, and sayonara!